All right, here we go with that. IOBA, my name is TC. So, somebody was asking me today, what do the letters on my shirt mean? CBAPP, CBAP. Community-based abstinence and pregnancy prevention. That was one of the nonprofits I used to work for, one of the programs in the nonprofit I used to work for back in the day. I used to run my drill team out of there. Anyway, IOBA, my name is TC. So today, me and my partner, he ain't really my partner, he's a co-worker, at work, and we talking, And he said, he got to talking about Donald Trump's deportation party. They run around snatching up people and deporting them out of the country, really. So he said that it's messing up his side hustle. So I'm like, okay, what is your side hustle? My man, what is your side hustle? And my man's name is Compierre. We call him Comp. And he said what he does is he helps newly arrived immigrants prepare their paperwork so that they can obtain legal status and get a green card and all of that. It's a long process, and it can be kind of tedious. So he said he was getting like $1,000 a pop every time he did one. And he'd do 3-4 a month sometimes. He said other people he knew would get $5,000 for that kind of work, especially if the person's been here a while and they got to do a lot of work. I'm like, yeah. He said, I mainly do it for people who come from where I come from. I said, okay. He said, that was my side hustle. I was very good at it too, but now that Donald Trump has started his deportation party, he said it's kind of hard for him to make, any money. He had to put the whole thing on hold, actually. I said, yeah, that's kind of crazy, isn't it? He said, yeah, man. And I told him what I thought. I ran my idea by him. I told him, that if at first I asked him, I said, Comp, what do you think of this? I said, I want to run this by you. He said, I said, what do you think about people who here and they don't quite have it all together? By that, they're undocumented. By that, I mean they're undocumented. But they've been here a while and they've accumulated some things and they got some wealth and they got this and they got that and they want to hold on to it. What about having them do this? Secure their bag, be it their money, their business, or whatever, just like I said in my other video. Take a vacation for 3-4 years and come back. After all this is all said, all done, after this madness is over with. You say, that sounds like a good idea. I said, yeah, you should tell your people. Because he does know some people who need help. That's what they should start doing. And they should start doing it now rather than have them people visit with them and take all their stuff. Because that's what they do, Like I said yesterday, they take all of your stuff and you don't get it back. So he said, yeah, I think I'll look into that. I'll tell some people that. He said, yeah, that makes sense. He said it in his accent, though. I ain't gonna tell you I ain't gonna do his accent, because then you'll know where the brother come from. Anyway, so yeah, I told him to do that, because what's happening now is like in overdrive. It's that Project 2025 thing I was telling y'all about, because that Project 2025, it's in full giddy up. He stacked the Supreme Court with his judges when he was here last time. They let this shit happen, though, the Democrats. They let it happen. He stacked the court with his judges from last time. And he could probably put 2 more judges on the Supreme Court before he leave office. And it'll be a totally conservative court. Things could be screwed up for the next 25 to 40 years if he get young enough judges on that Supreme Court. I don't know about 40 years, but the next 20 years anyway. You know what I mean? He could. It's some real damage that could be done just by how you control the Supreme Court, and Donald Trump has that right now. You dig me? So he gonna put in place his Project 2025, and he gonna do it step by step. You see, he trying to lay off all these federal workers. You see, he trying to lay off all these federal workers and put in people loyal to his program and will do exactly what him and his people want him to do, rather than what's right and rather than do the business of the country. It's about the business of his political party. You know what I mean? And then when the Democrats take over, they're not going to reverse everything that Donald Trump does. They're just not. They're not going to reverse everything that Donald Trump does. Some of it, some of the crazier stuff, but all of the social safety nets that Donald Trump take out aren't going to be put back. And I don't think if Donald Trump can fire all of these federal workers, if that stuff survives the courts, because a lot of the stuff goes through lower courts before it gets to the Supreme Court, if that stuff survives the courts, they're not going to hire back all of them federal workers that Donald Trump gets rid of. You know what I mean? They'll change some stuff back. They'll probably put back the environmental stuff and the climate accords and this treaty and that treaty. They'll get back into that shit. But a lot of times, like with Joe Biden, he didn't reverse all of the Trump policies, not all of them. But Donald Trump goddamn sure reversed all of his. And then some, because Project 2025 is in full effect. You dig me? And this country going to be stuck in the 1950s forever, or the foreseeable future. So, that part. Me, I'm see, it's good to have gotten old. I'm at the age where a lot of the stuff, I'm just outside or when all the draconian stuff starts, because he trying to fuck with Medicare, he trying to fuck with Social Security. He ain't touching it now because he's scared and too many white people are on it. But he trying to mess with that stuff. But usually when you get grandfathered into a program, you safe. Me being born a long time ago, knock on wood, I'm pretty safe from all of the stuff that he's trying to do. But food stamps and what else? Section 8, I'm hearing, and programs like that are getting cut. Not cut out, but cut. And they've been chopping away at them programs forever, seems like. Since the 1980s, they've been cutting food stamps and cutting people off welfare and cutting this and cutting that. Hell, some of my friends at work who don't watch the news or don't pay attention seem to think or seem to have forgotten how different. They seem to be out of touch with how hard things really are in this day and age. Some of my close work friends, because they say, well, some of them people need to be cut. So no, they don't. No, they don't. It's enough in this world for everybody. It's enough in this world for everybody to have enough plus a little bit more. I don't care what nobody say. But see, you can't go by me. You can't go by me because I'm more of a social democrat type guy. I'm more of a man. I guess I'm too far to the left to be called a Democrat, because I think that there's enough in this world for everybody. I think that our form of government, this capitalism that we use, this is it's killing people. Really, unfettered capitalism, because when you put these price tags on everything. Every glass of clean water, every blade of grass, every clump of dirt has a price tag on it in the United States. That's why, I'll give you an example. That's why our infrastructure is so fucked up. But here's a quick example, right? Chinese just created something called DeepSeek. It's the Chinese version of ChatGPT. Okay? And they created it for a tiny fraction of the money that was used to create ChatGPT. Now, I don't know the ins and outs of this development and code writing and shit like that. But I do know them numbers should have been a hell of a lot closer as far as the development of that system goes. DeepSeek cost a fraction of the money that OpenAI used to create ChatGPT. A tiny fraction. ChatGPT needed somewhere in the hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars to create, develop, and roll out. The Chinese do one that's just as good for $5 million. That's because in the United States, there's a lot of thievery and stealing and overpricing and price gouging and padding the budget and all kinds of crazy shit that go on when you're developing something. So they plop a really high number on it and everybody's numbers go up and everybody gets paid for something that if you just do it, it costs a tiny fraction of that. That's the way the Chinese operate sometimes, and I can't help but respect that. Yes, the Chinese have capitalism, but that shit's under control. That's why their infrastructure looks like it does and ours look like it does. Because we get too wrapped up in how much money something costs, and half the time the shit don't get built or it get built with shoddy construction so everybody can make a bunch of money. Or so it'll last maybe 10 years and then they have to do it again. They don't build anything to last. Let me tell you something about, I'm going to segue, I'm going to go in a different direction. To me, anyway, and all this is all my fucking opinion. I don't even go in my comment section so you can say whatever the fuck you want. Anyway, money, the way we use it, to me, we all know it's fiat. We all know it is. But the way it's goddamn weaponized in the United States. It's all just numbers on your computer screen, you know. I was telling my coworker today, I just want to be able to do what I want to do and get what I want to get. I don't need the money, I need the shit that the money buy. So I stick my card in the machine, the numbers move around, I press OK, and I get my gas. And that's it. That's it. Because that's the way the money is now. It's numbers on a computer screen. Yeah, I got a few paper dollars in my pocket, but they represent numbers on a computer screen. You dig me? The money is fiat, for one, created out of thin air and created by decree. And number two, it's kind of artificial. Because if they can do the same thing with $5 million that you took billions of dollars to do, what's that say about the value of money? You dig me? It's an idea. That's what it is. Imagine how advanced the human race would be if we used a different way to do things. If we had a different way to do things that didn't involve attaching a dollar value to it. You know what I mean? So that's where we at now in Donald Trump's America. Cut the fucking budget. Put everybody on some sort of crazy ass austerity. Cut the social safety nets because they're doing away. They're trying to get rid of, SNAP and Section 8 and things like that. Take all the price controls off the drugs so people can start dying. Ship a bunch of niggas out the country because there's too many of them anyway. And have this cold, draconian society where if you ain't white, you shouldn't be working because ain't no diversity. have this cold-blooded, homogenous society and force everybody to be happy. That's where we're at right now. And the worst part about it is shit gonna get worse before it get better. My thing is, just be prepared for it. You know what I mean? When people tell you who they are, believe them. And Donald Trump told you who he was. Yeah, he told a lot of lies, but he told a lot of lies the first time too. Donald Trump told you who he was. Now he's showing you. Hunker down, take care of yourself, and do the best you can for the next 4 years. So check this out. Thank you for coming by, listening to me talk my shit. Hit the subscribe button, and I will catch y'all on the next one. TC, and I'm out. Peace.